Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a brand new video, and in today's video we're doing our deep dive into the American League Championship Series, which starts tomorrow. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Boston versus Houston. Who saw this one coming at the beginning of the year? No one saw Boston. My prediction of Houston in 4, which I believe was what it was, came through. Yep, Houston in 4. Said that Chicago would take Game 3 in Chicago, and they did. So I feel like an absolute genius, and we got a lot of stuff to go over. So the first 2 starters for Houston got announced with the huge news of Lance McCullers Jr. injured. So he is not in the ALCS, but he might make the World Series roster if the Astros do advance. So game 1, I have Nathan Iavaldi versus Franberg Valdez. I don't believe Nate Iavaldi pitched in the ALDS, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a pretty big, that's pretty big that they'll be able to get Nathan Iavaldi for game 1. So yeah. Eduardo Rodriguez versus Luis Garcia for game 2. That's a pretty big one. Obviously that would be Franberg, that probably would have just stayed Luis Garcia. Game 3 is the big one that changes. Game 3, we have Chris Sale, and I have put Christian Javier. That would have been Lance McCullers Jr.'s start. But he's hurt, so that's not going to be a start, and that's going to be in Boston. And then I have Game 4. I'm just up to Game 4. I don't do the if necessary because a whole bunch of stuff changes when it's an if necessary elimination game. So I only do the first few games that aren't elimination. We're going to have, I see Nick Pavetta versus Zach Granky. I just think you're going to have to get Granky to pitch. He's going to have to give you 4 innings, 5 innings. It's going to be tough. It's going to be difficult, especially now that you don't have Lance. But you got to make it work if you want to win. This is how good teams win. And this series will be interesting. That's the 2018 ALCS rematch. For lineups, we have, for the Red Sox, we got Kyle Schwarber at first base, Hernandez at center, Devers at third, Bogarts at short, Verdugo in left, JD DHing, Renfroe in right, and Vasquez as the catcher. So yeah, good to see JD back. That's a big thumbs up. That is huge for this series. For the Astros, they got Altuve at second, Brantley in left, Bregman at third, Alvarez in DH, Correa at short, Guriel first base, Tucker right field, Myers in center, and Maldonado behind the plate. This shall be interesting. Obviously, Ryan Tepera thought, Houston was suspicious in Minute Maid Park, which personally I think is a lame excuse for your team not playing well, but that's besides the point. It'll be interesting to see if Boston changes their stuff, maybe use key signals throughout the game, because obviously in 2019, I believe it was, in New York, it was either 2019 or 2017. One of the two, Tanaka with Gary Sanchez was using the key signals. So they put down a 3 and that'd be their key, and then they go on. So it'll be interesting to see if Boston does that. My prediction, obviously I thought Boston wouldn't be here, so that threw me off. But my prediction for this, with Lance McCullers Jr.'s hurt, I got Boston in 7. I think everything's kind of fallen in place for Boston to find a way to get this thing done. So yeah, what to watch for is Boston Magic. Can Boston continue to strike some magic in a bottle, man? They've been insane. Take advantages of mistakes and huge opportunities. The huge opportunity they got to take advantage of is no Lance McCullers Jr. So let's see if they can do that. Gotta take advantage of stuff, and they have a huge opportunity to do that and strike early, honestly. Fielding, obviously, mainly at Schwarber. Kind of been a little suspect fielding lately, but he's had some time off. I think he can figure it out. He's a competent fielder. I think he's fine, but he's got to be on point. So, yeah. Bench help. Travis Shaw is hitting, and he kind of needs to continue this. He's been a huge thing. Christian Arroyo has been pretty big. They need to keep him going. Kevin Plawecki, he's kind of been iffy. He's a little questionable. So that's going to be that. But the main one I'm looking at is Bobby Delbeck. He had a huge month of September. He's a huge reason to why Boston was so good in September. They had a OPS near 1, I think. He had like a 900 OPS, like on the upper nines in September. So he needs to get going again. He doesn't have a hit. I don't even think he's been on base yet in the playoffs. So that's got to happen. That's got to start going. Bullpen. Boston's bullpen was elite. It's been elite in the wild card, elite in the ALDS. It's got to continue. Houston has their issues in the bullpen, and that's just the way it is. There's going to be guys that don't have it. It seems like right now there's a couple guys in Houston's bullpen that just doesn't quite have it. Hopefully that changes. I think they'll be used less in this. Important. This is an important series. It's important for Houston. It's more important for Houston than it is Boston. Because if Houston wins this, they're one step closer to proving everyone wrong. If they don't win this, then brings back you're only good because you cheated. If they can win this series, they're one step closer to proving us wrong, saying they didn't need to cheat. So this is a big series. Gap filler. McCullers is hurt. Someone's going to have to fill a spot. So whoever it is, which kind of looking at it, is going to be Christian Javier. They got to have a fantastic start. They have to have a solid 7-inning start. If they don't, Boston wins the series. If they don't, because it's going to ruin the bullpen. And Zach Granky, I know he's been coming out of the bullpen, hasn't started in a while. Going to need some extra bullpen guys. That's all I'm saying. Game 3 is a huge game. If Boston jumps out and Houston has to use a lot of relievers, it's Boston's series to lose. Bounce back. We need some bounce back starts from Franberg, Valdez, and Luis Garcia. Underperformed their first start in the postseason. Both gave up a ton of runs, more than what they're normally used to giving up in the regular season. So hopefully that changes. Boston doesn't have a star-studded lineup, if you would. A lot of team-first guys, like Renfroe's a team-first guy. Hernandez, Schwarber, Vasquez, team-first guys. The guys who are driving in runs, Devers, Bogarts, Verdugo, JD. I feel like this lineup's short. Oh, yeah, it is. I totally forgot about Christian Arroyo at second base. Well, Christian Arroyo at second base batted ninth for the Red Sox lineup. So, yeah, that's going to be huge. Bottom of the order. Houston's bottom of the order is going to have to succeed to make this series hell for Boston. Myers, McCormick, and Tucker have hit very well, but Maldonado batting ninth. He's going to have to start finding a way, even if it's advancing a guy over, but he's got to find a way to have productive at-bats. Because right now, his at-bats in the playoffs, they've been all right, but they haven't been really productive, so that's going to have to change. And the last one is Yuli Guriel. 2021 AL batting champ. He's hitting $167, I believe it is, at the time. That's got to change. He hit, 319 or 321 in the regular season? He's got to start going. He's got to get, he has to. Because that's a huge hole in their lineup right now. He bats 5th or 6th. That's huge. They need him to get going. So, yeah. Keys to the series for Boston is the bullpen. That's a fairly obvious one. Bullpen still has to remain elite. Bench guys, they like to have their little pinch hitter, pinch runner things late in the game, which is a super smart move by Alex Cora. So that's huge. And then fielding, he can't let Houston on. He can't give them free passes because they take advantage. That's why they're such a good team. For Houston, Yuli Guriel is the key to the series. If he's hitting, this series is a lot different. So yeah, Valdez and Garcia, that's huge. Game 1 and Game 2 starters both had bad starts in the ALDS. They have bad starts in the ALCS. It's an all but over series. If they go up and they can give you 2 wins, back-to-back wins, and you can go to Boston up 2-0, that's a way different series because then you can afford a bad Game 3. So Valdez and Garcia are going to be a huge thing to watch for in this series. And for Houston, lastly, their late inning clutch hitting. It's been awesome. They've been able to keep it up. They're hitting whenever. They always find a way. But especially now in the late inning off of Boston's bullpen, which throughout the year was a huge question mark, they got to find a way to come through because the last 2 teams that have played Boston have not been able to come through late. They just really haven't found a way. So, that's it. Going over again, the prediction is Boston in 7. I'm super excited for this series. Whoever wins this series is gonna obviously gets the pennant, right? But this is the 2 teams that cheated. Obviously, Boston. Well, not obviously, because I don't know how obvious it is to people. But the reports are Boston didn't cheat in the playoffs. But this is the 2 teams that cheated. Alex Cora back in Houston, facing Houston. Houston obviously wants revenge for 2018. Boston wants to go back. This is a year they definitely weren't meant to do this. So this is going to be a fun series. Winner takes on the winner of the NLCS, which is the Braves, and whoever wins Game 5 tonight, which I'm super excited for. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel. And I'll catch you all in the next video, which is the NLCS, which will be out tomorrow before Game 1 of the NLCS. Catch you all in the next video. Peace out. Goodbye.